here to help your children spread their wings and fly through life. Let's talk about types of discipline. We're going to talk about 6 types of discipline here, and some of them are actual discipline techniques that will help you with that really bad behaviour straight away. And some of them are discipline that we set up so that the children know that we're not happy with the way that they're behaving. Children of this age really want us to be happy. So if you're going to laugh at something that they do really wrong, then they're going to do that again and again and again because they want to make you happy. If you laugh and are very excited about them doing the right thing, then they're going to want to do that right thing again and again and again, if that makes sense to you. So here are the types that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about consistency, and consistency is the most important aspect of discipline that you can do. If you don't do anything else with this positive discipline, consistency is the thing that you need to do. What you say, you have to do. So if you say we're not going to a birthday party if you don't eat your dinner, then if they don't eat their dinner, you're not going to that birthday party, no matter what. It's so important. What you say, you have to do. Distraction, great way, especially when they're little, to stop them doing things that you know are going to cause a problem in the end. Counting down, time out, and positive feedback and rewards. They're all ways to help your children make good choices in their behaviour and how they're interacting with others. So let's talk about what actually is discipline. Discipline is a practice of training people to obey rules. And yes, we need to train our kids. Our children are going to live in a society that's full of rules. And if you break those rules, there are consequences. For instance, if I don't stop at a stop sign and there's a cop there, I'm going to get a fine. If I steal from someone, then I'm going to end up in jail or end up in the courts. So there are rules that govern our lives, and it doesn't matter what society we live in. These rules actually govern our lives. It helps us live in a society, and it helps our society to function. And what we're doing is we're not squashing their freedom, we're not stopping our kids from being free spirits. What we're doing is we're teaching them how to live in our world. Now, it doesn't mean that we're teaching them that they can't break the rules, because sometimes, for instance, in science, breaking the rules will give you a result which can lead to things like penicillin, for instance. So breaking the rules is okay within a certain boundaries. And what we're teaching our children is that rules are okay and rules have boundaries, and we need to abide by those boundaries, but we need to know the reasons why. Giving our children structure at this age helps them in their life later on to be able to be functioning, social young adults. And that's what we want. We want them to be able to function in their life. Setting up your environment at home is paramount to having a positive discipline technique. If you don't have a place in your house where they can safely go, then some of these techniques are going to be difficult. For instance, time out. They need to have a chair where they can sit quietly away from everything else so that they can actually have that time to think. If you set up a very supportive environment for your children, give them things to do to keep them distracted, keep them really busy, keep them active and healthy, give them good food, then your environment is perfect for this sort of thing. And everyone wants to give that wonderful environment to their children. Well, this positive discipline really supports that really positive and happy, healthy environment that you're giving your children. And it helps it keep it a happy environment and a safe environment for them. And that's why we do this, is to keep our children safe and to give them boundaries. Children who have boundaries are happier, they're healthier, and they're more successful in life. So these positive discipline techniques will help your children to become those successful young adults that we really want them to be. I want to talk quickly about rewards. Some people say that, you're bribing your kids or whatever. But if you think about it in life, you don't go to work for nothing. Now, if you're a volunteer and you work, You say, well, I don't get money. No, you don't get money, but you get feelings and you get a sense that you've helped someone. And those feelings and that ability to help someone is a payment in itself. So if you understand that you get paid by doing something for someone, whether you get paid in monetary value or whether you get paid with those emotions, that really changes your thinking about rewards for children. Now, children don't understand why, in the long run, you want them to learn to use a knife and fork and not use their fingers when they're eating. To them, they've used their fingers when they're eating for the last 2 years. Why all of a sudden do I have to use a fork? But you know that in the future they're going to need to be able to use a knife and fork when you go to a restaurant in maybe 6 months' time. But they're not going to understand that. So you need to give them some sort of a reward for them to doing that action, because you know that it will help them in the future. So these rewards can either be a big hug, or it can be a, oh, good job, I'm so excited. Just even a smile. Oh, I'm really proud. Well done. Good job. That sort of thing, that's actually a reward for them. Or if it's something bigger, say, for instance, they're doing their music practice, their instrumental practice, or maybe you're teaching them to catch and throw a ball and you want them to practice every day to do that. If it's something that you want them to do every day, you can use a chart and put stickers on it. And when they get 4 stickers, then they get to choose a toy out of a box. Or they get to go on a picnic. Or sometimes it's even just going out for a coffee with you, or go for a walk with you, and it's your time which is the reward for them. It doesn't have to be a piece of food. It doesn't have to be a toy. It can just be your attention on them, and that's the reward that they get. We used to work towards a whole heap of different rewards. We'd get a kit, buy a whole Lego set, and we'd give different parts of the Lego set. Often they come in packets of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we would give one set so that they could do the first part of it, and it would be a big pirate ship, for instance, and so they'd be able to do the first part, then they'll get the second bag, and then they'll get the third bag or the fourth bag. Well, I also did it for Littlest Pet Shops, were really big when my kids were little, and I broke up the Littlest Pet Shop box and I put it into little Ziploc bags, and I gave them, every time that they were getting a reward, they would get one of these Littlest Pet Shops. So they were learning to work towards a reward. That is a great way to learn self-motivation and self-discipline as well. One of the most important things to do is to find their currency. What will they do for anything? So, for instance, will they have a chocolate blueberry? And they would do anything for a chocolate blueberry. Or maybe they'd do anything for a piece of Lego. Maybe they'd do anything for watching Play School. You need to find what their currency is. What is it, the thing that they really love doing? Now, taking things away doesn't always work. Now, the reason it doesn't work is because what you're doing is you're sort of giving them a reward. It's a negative reward, but it still is a reward. So they will have things taken away, and it's sort of like, oh yeah, I know that this is happening, but I really don't care. Now, there might be some things that kids really will do anything to have not taken away, but often what happens is that it makes it really difficult for the kids to distinguish between good behaviour and bad behaviour. So if you can actually get them to be rewarded by their good behaviour, and just say when they do something naughty, it's like, oh, that makes me very, very sad. I'm really upset that you're doing this, and then ignore it, but really praise that behaviour that they're doing that you really want them to do. So, for instance, my daughter absolutely loved the zoo. So we got a zoo pass and we went every day to the zoo. It was fantastic. She just loved it. So it was a place where she could learn about the people around her, but she could learn about the animals and find interesting things out about different animals in different countries, and we had such a lovely time. You can do that at a museum, you can do that at the library. Just going to the library and finding different books every week is a huge thing for them. It's the world experience that you want to give them so that they can understand the world that they live in.
Thank you for watching Modern Successful Parenting. All advice and information given during this course is designed for general use only. If you have any concerns for your child, please seek professional advice as soon as possible. For terms and conditions, see website www.modernsuccessfulparenting.com.au. Thank you.